There is a particular kind of exhaustion that has no name in most languages, though nearly everyone alive today has felt it. It is the exhaustion of being reachable, the low hum of dread that lives behind your ribs every time a message arrives, every time your phone lights up, every time someone expects an instant response, and you feel obligated, almost enslaved, to give it. You tell yourself this is simply modern life. You tell yourself this is what it means to be responsible, to be kind, to be a good employee, a good friend, a good partner. But somewhere beneath that exhausted compliance, a quieter voice keeps asking a question you have never fully answered. What would happen if you simply stopped being available all the time? The answer to that question is not a productivity hack invented by a Silicon Valley consultant. It is a principle understood over 2,000 years ago by men who never owned a phone, yet who diagnosed this exact affliction of the soul with startling precision. Marcus Aurelius, ruler of the most powerful empire on earth, was, by any modern measure, the most in-demand man alive. Generals needed his orders, senators needed his judgment, armies needed his presence at the front. And yet in his private writings, the reflections we now call meditations, he returns again and again to a single discipline: the refusal to let his attention be seized by every voice that called for it. He understood something that we have forgotten in an age of constant notification. Availability is not virtue. Availability, when unlimited, is a slow erosion of the self. To understand why constant availability destroys value, you first have to understand what value actually is. Something becomes valuable to us specifically because it is not always accessible. Time with a person who is endlessly free feels ordinary, almost weightless, because there was no scarcity, no cost, no waiting. But time with someone who is deliberate about their presence, who gives attention because they have chosen to, and not because they were pinged into it, feels different entirely. It feels like a gift rather than a transaction. The Stoics did not think in terms of economics, yet Epictetus captured this precisely when he taught that a person who wants to be free must stop desperately wanting things that are not fully theirs to control, including the good opinion of everyone who happens to demand their time. When you make yourself endlessly reachable, you are silently communicating that your attention has no boundary, and anything without a boundary eventually loses its perceived worth. There is a psychological mechanism behind this that modern research only confirms what the Stoics intuited. Human beings assign meaning through friction. We do not treasure what costs us nothing to obtain. When you respond within seconds to every text, every email, every request, you remove all friction from access to you, and the mind, quietly and without malice, recalibrates your importance downward. This is not because people are cruel. It is because the human brain is wired to associate immediacy with abundance, and abundance, fair or not, is rarely equated with value. Seneca wrote to his friend Lucilius that nothing is ours except time, and yet it is the one thing everyone is so careless in spending. When you give your time to everyone the instant they ask, you are not being generous. You are teaching the world, and yourself, that your time was never truly precious to begin with. But there is a deeper wound hiding beneath this behavior, one that has little to do with time management and everything to do with fear. Most people who are compulsively available are not simply disciplined or dutiful. They are afraid of being forgotten if they do not respond instantly, afraid of being labeled difficult, distant, or unkind, afraid that if they do not answer now, the opportunity, the relationship, the approval will vanish. This fear is what Epictetus called mistaking what is not up to us for what is. Whether someone thinks well of you for responding in 90 seconds instead of 90 minutes is not up to you. It never was. Chasing it is chasing smoke, and smoke, no matter how quickly you run after it, can never be caught. This is where the Stoic principle of the dichotomy of control becomes not an abstract idea, but a daily practice with real consequences. Some things are within your power: your judgments, your choices, your effort, the way you use your time. Everything else, including how quickly the world believes you should react to it, lies outside your power and therefore does not deserve your anxiety. When you internalize this distinction, something remarkable happens. You stop apologizing for delayed replies, You stop feeling the phantom vibration of obligation in your pocket. You begin, quietly and without announcement, to reclaim your own mind. There is a kind of strength that grows specifically from strategic silence, from choosing not to respond immediately, even when you are fully capable of it. This is not about being cold or intentionally withholding for manipulation. It is about restoring the natural rhythm of a mind that thinks before it reacts, that chooses its words with weight rather than firing them off in reflex. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself constantly that he had the power at any moment to withdraw into himself, into a place no external demand could invade. That inner citadel, as he called it, was not built by responding to everyone. It was built by protecting the space where his own judgment could form undisturbed. Consider, too, how differently people are treated once they stop performing constant availability, not because they became cruel or unreachable, but because their presence, when finally given, felt earned. A leader who does not react to every provocation appears steady rather than fragile. A friend who does not answer at midnight but shows up fully present the next day feels more real than one who fires back an empty emoji in the dark. This is amor fati in its quiet, practical form, an acceptance that not every moment needs your immediate intervention, that some things are simply meant to wait, and that waiting is not neglect, but discipline. None of this requires you to disappear from the world, or to punish the people who care about you with cold detachment. It requires only a shift in identity, from someone whose worth is measured by response time, to someone whose worth is measured by depth of thought, quality of presence, and mastery over their own attention. The next time your phone lights up and that old, anxious pull rises in your chest, pause. Ask yourself quietly, as the old philosophers did before you, is this truly mine to control, or have I simply been trained to believe it is? In that pause, in that single moment of hesitation before you answer, you will find something far more valuable than speed. You will find yourself.